Welcome back to Brooksy's car restoration. So I'm Brooksy, and today we get back on the Rodeo. Just got a few little last bits and pieces to do. Hopefully today or tomorrow the car will be up for sale. Yeah, and my dad also has a car we both bought around a similar time for $1,500 each, roughly. And we're having a bit of a flip off, so hopefully in this video we'll have some some stuff we'll put together with his and my cars, and you know, just do some stats, see how much either of us has spent, if and when or if we sell the cars, how much we've profited, and basic rundowns, and basically who got the better flip and whatnot. Just having a few little competitions here and there just for a bit of fun. Have a flip off, as they call it. I think for a majority of the things, Dad's probably going to win. He hasn't spent probably as much money as I have. I ended up buying a tray and some other things, so here's what it is. But in saying that, I still make a reasonable amount of money off this car, potentially, if it sells for around what I want. Anyways, without further ado, let's have a look at what we're getting at. So I'm going to clean this up. I've got a new tow ball for that. So we're going to pull all the tow ball stuff off. See how rusted out that is. Gonna pull that whole thing off and clean it up and repaint it. So peeling and paint and that. Give that a good clean up, paint it. Dad's coming back shortly, hopefully. Put the rest of the guards on. So we ended up getting the back guards on. We've still got to put the front part of the guard on. I'm going to clean those wheels up and repaint them, and then yeah, just the paint's not looking too bad today, but as you know, in the previous video we repainted this car. I still need to cut and polish it, just make it look nice and shiny and brand new. Basically, it'll really set the car off once it's done properly. And put this corner light in. And then just touch up the interior, make it look nice and shiny. It's clean, and it's pretty much good to go. But I just gotta put some shine on it, and yeah, gonna clean the tray as well, a bit nicer, if we can. So yeah, we're back shortly. Right, I'm just doing an update. Dad's here, putting in the other guard, front guards. On the other sides are done. Just done an undercoat on the bull bar, or not bull bar, toe ball bar thing. I'm still changing that. I just painted it for fun. And on this side, front guard's in. To clean his fingerprints off, but it's nice and bloody solid. It's a new bracketry. This guard was off the old one. It's a lot skinnier than the other one, so we had to what do you call it? Stick an extra little bit in there to make it fit. Fabricate as it is. So now I'm going to take the front wheels off, start prepping them while I'm waiting for that paint to dry, and yeah. Alright, quick little update. Guards are all in now. Look pretty damn good. Sparkly paint on the blue. Not perfect, but better than nothing. Tidied it up better, looks better than the rust that I had on it. I've done the first coat of black. on the table and that. Again, not perfect, but it looks a hell of a lot better than rust. And I've done all underneath as well. On the sides. This guard's pretty well sorted. Dad's finishing up something on this side.
We got some clamps for the fuel.
The fuel clamp hose thingy back on. And can we check and see if that light works?
I'll check it again.
But you have checked it?
I checked it when it was out. I haven't checked it since I put it back in.
Oh. So that was the guard that got dinnered in. It's got a new light on there now too. So yeah, let's check and see if that light works. That one works. And there's the new one. Might have to swap the other side. It looks a bit crisper than the original. Sorry, Dad, just talking to the camera.
Huh?
I said sorry, just talking to the camera. Might have to black these out too, just to make them match that. But yeah, that looks heaps better. Car's coming together nicely. I'm in the process of taking the wheels off and getting ready to paint them. So yeah, is what it is.
Shiny ball.
Yeah. So yeah, got nice shiny balls now. I mean ball. All that sorted. Got the first coat on the rims. Looking somewhat reasonable, not rusty anymore. Done the caps as well. So got a bit done today. Got the inner guard and all that back in. It's all just petty stuff really. But yeah. Just gotta do a few more coats of paint. And yeah. We'll probably crack on Dad's car tomorrow because my car's pretty much done. So come back and film all the stuff we're doing on that. We're back this morning. I stayed up a while last night painting the rims and whatnot, but was got a bit too dark to video stuff. So this is what they look like then. These never show up as nicely on camera as they do in real life, but there's they've come up pretty decent. Nice and smooth. A little bit of overspray, which I'll touch up shortly. Wipe off all the little metal flakes in it, and then the caps as well. A few little imperfections here and there, like dust and that got into it because, well, we're outside, is what it is. But they look a hell of a lot better than they did. Yeah, so I'll get rid of that overspray, and then we'll chuck them back on the ute, and we'll have a bit of a look and see how they turned out. All right. Fresh new non-rusty rims. Wipe the excess paint off it, pretty much. And then the back one. They probably don't look that spectacular. They're just standard rims, but they look a lot better than they did. So now I'll do a before and after of the paint. So it's all dusty at the moment. everything's freaking dusty at the moment. So that's the paint. We're gonna clean it up. It looks pretty dull. It doesn't look too bad, but we're gonna polish it and cut it, polish it, blah blah blah. See how clean we can get it. Hit the windows with a bit of Windex and stuff, get them all nice crystal clear. Take all the dullness out of the paint that we painted. Get it looking spick. Restore some of the colour in that. And yeah, be back and show you the after effect very shortly. Alright, so we've cut it, buffed it and polished it, and it's looking a lot, what do you call it, I don't know if the video shows it well enough or not, but it's very shiny now. A lot shinier than it was. I could probably go over it a couple more times and get it almost show quality, but at the end of the day, this is like a work ute, and if you dull it up too much, no one's going to want to use it for what it's supposed to be used for. I think I got this side of the car looking a bit better. I was trying a different strategy on this side, and it looks so much more cleaner and like, what do you call it? I was keeping the wax a bit wet instead of letting it dry out, which is something I recently learned. And yeah, I can take a bit more wax off the car. Anyways, let's come up a bit cleaner. You can still see a little bit of residue there. But the roof, how's it looking? And there's another wipe. Anyway, it's pretty shiny now. It's not, the paint's not rough anymore. I'll have to come back over and wipe it again. It's now lunchtime, so I was thinking about calling it quits. But might just take that last little bit of residue off. Oops, my finger's in the way. Oh, it dries too much. It's not much, just a little bit. But yeah, look at that. That residue off. It's coming up pretty good. And then you see the roof. There's a bit of residue there, I think. I don't know if you can see it or not. Anyways. So yeah. The buffing and polishing part of the car's done. I'll just keep coming back and touching it up here and there if I need to. So yeah. After lunch we'll what's we got left? The interior, then the tray. I'm trying to do all the quiet jobs because my wife's asleep, so yeah, it looks night duty, same as I. So take it in turns. So just doing all the quiet jobs early on, and then later I'll pull out the pressure hose and other stuff and make a bit more noise. And I'll see you in a bit. Right, so just to detail the engine bay. Got it looking a bit smicker. And just got done detailing the interior of the car as well. It's the passenger side. It's nice and shiny-ish now. I mean, I'd already cleaned this before, but now I've just brought a bit of the shine out. Let's go to the driver's side. I think the steering wheel looks really nice. Nice and shiny. And the gear boot brought that leather back. That's looking really nice. I could probably get the steering wheel a little bit shinier, but it is what it is. But yeah, it looks $1 million now. Alright, we'll get on to the back and then go get some photos and put it up for sale, hopefully. Right, I've just mixed up some aluminium cleaner. It's you know, that's so much of the product, which is pretty much 2 different types of acid and the rest is water. Now theoretically, if this stuff's still any good, when I spray it on the aluminium it should bubble up and carry on and whatever else and get it all nice and clean, and then I don't know, I guess when it stops bubbling and carrying on I hose it off. So let's see what happens, eh? That might be old. I can just get the roller and tip it on it. Don't let it dry, so probably.
There's the horrible smell.
Right, I'll beat half of this. I pressure washed it off and we'll see what it looks like between the two halves. Well, didn't seem to do a heck of a lot. It's a little bit brighter here, but down further it's questionable. For fun, I'm just going to tip the whole bottle over the ute tray and see what happens. It'll either work or it won't. Hey guys, so yeah, I've finally finished detailing the car as much as I like. I'll give it some touches up here and there as people come and look at it and whatnot, but let's have a look at the finished product, shall we? Nice bit of sparkle there. The tyre shine. I just drove it down a dusty road. Nicely cleaned. Seats a bit. Did you get the ID? Looks a little better in the daylight. Still a slight dent in that fender, but it's a hell of a lot better than it was. I'm thinking to touch up this little area here. There's a bunch of stone chips or something in there. I don't know what it is. I thought buffing would fix it, and it did a little bit, but not to the extent I want it. So I may give that a light sand and a paint. I think those guards look nice. They set it off. The rims didn't turn out as nice as I thought they would, or they'd make the car pop as nice as I thought they would. ended up getting the tray a little bit cleaner. But stuff like this, that's concrete, it's not coming off with a bit of acid. And then you got bits like this, it's paint. It's a work ute. Still looks somewhat decent. Better than it did. At least it's clean, there's no dirt or anything left on it. So just a bit of paint here and there. And then the back end, fresh toe ball. Toe ball all nice and cleaned up. Then this side. And back around to where we started. This is a somewhat shorter video this week. We'll see, I might this is a somewhat shorter video this week. I might do some more videos tomorrow on the Lancer or working on Dad's car. Let's see what we end up doing. See if Dad wants to catch up or not. Otherwise, probably going to work on the Beetle. Yep. So that's what it is. So, what's to come? So the Utes gone up for sale today. If all goes well and I sell the car very shortly, I've actually got, I can actually go and buy my dream car basically, which I'm not going to give too much away, but the car is in absolute terrible condition. It's barely being held together by rust, but being a car I've wanted my entire life, yeah, it's I don't care if it's full of rust. I'll spend the next 6 to 12 months trying to fix it up. I don't give a stuff in my spare time. So yeah, it's really exciting. Plus it's really cheap. The cars now go for anywhere from $25,000 to $50,000 to $80,000 depending on the type of car. Being an old car, they're actually worth quite a lot of money. This one's been engine swapped, so it's got my favourite engine in it as well. And with any luck I can get it for 2.5 and under. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, this car sells really quickly so I can get that car. If any of you actually know me, I owned one of these cars. This was my very first car I ever owned. However, when I was 12 years old, learning to drive, not that you learn to drive when you're 12 years old, but you know, my parents had a property and we used to bang around in cars and stuff. I sort of partially wrote it off. Nowadays I could have front end swapped it or something, but back then I didn't know about that sort of stuff, being 12 years old and whatever else. Sort of gave up on the dream. But yeah, with any luck I might own that car again. But we'll see. Like I said, we need a quick sale and we need everything to go favourably with the Lancer as well, so yeah, to be continued.